Hello everybody and welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to make your puzzle pieces for the engineering puzzle cube project. So the first thing you have to do is go up here to create and select document for a new document. We're going to name this your class period. For example, 2A puzzle cube and your name, and create public document. Now what's going to happen is you'll load up the different planes you can sketch on. We'll select sketch. You'll select front. And if you notice over here, it does say that we have a sketch going on the front plane. So we're going to rotate to see the front plane by clicking on our navigational cube. And we're going to go use the corner rectangle tool. We're going to click on the origin, move up diagonally. And now we need to tell this two-dimensional rectangle how big to be. We'll use the dimension tool, which is here. And if you look at the project instructions, this is a 3/4 inch cube. You can type it in as either a decimal or a fraction. You can see here we can put 3/4 in. It knows how big that is. And we're done doing the two-dimensional part. We'll click on the finish the sketch. And I'm going to rotate this to show our next stage by clicking on isometric. And the next thing we have to do is take this two-dimensional square and make it a cube by using extrude. We'll select the item we want to extrude, which is this rectangle. And if you notice, it extrudes to the default of 1 inch. But we need to change that to be the size of our cube, which is 0.75 or 3/4 of an inch. We'll say we're done with this extrusion. And there you go. You actually don't have to model any more parts in this. All you have to do is make this one cube. Okay, so now we've got one cube made. And because of this project requiring 5 pieces for your puzzle cube, we're going to duplicate this 5 times and make them different colors, which we can build with. So coming down here to the lower left, you see it says Part Studio 1. We'll right click on that. We will duplicate this for a total of 5, including the original. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these. And now we want to give this a color. The best way to do that is to select the cube, but you need to select the entire cube. The easiest way is just to click in space up away from the cube and drag, fully selecting the cube. You'll highlight it yellow, then you right click, and we want to choose down here, second from the bottom, edit appearance for part 1. We will select a color you want. I'll make this first one bright red, and I'm done changing the appearance, so I click the green check. And I'm just going to rename this one up here, rename red. I'm going to follow that same procedure for these other ones. I don't care what colors you use. You will be just doing your thing with changing the colors until you have all of them made. So I'll skip walking through each of those. Then what you're going to do is build using these colored cubes to make each of your pieces. Now you can see that I have a variety of colors here. Again, you can pick any of the colors that you want. I do recommend having them be distinctly different from each other. And I don't recommend choosing black. Black will make it hard to see the edges. As you can see, these lines, the edges of the materials are black lines. And it will be a little bit harder to tell if you have black or a very dark color, exactly where the edges are, and it will make it a little harder for you to visualize your pieces. Now that we have these, we are now switching modes to use assemblies. Now you can see there's an assembly down here. We can click on this one. and we go up here to the insert command. Now, there's two ways you can go forward with building parts. I'm going to show you them now, and we just have to pick which color we're going to build. I'll just click my blue one to start. It doesn't matter. It is showing up yellow just because it's selected, and I just click to drop it. I'm going to close this out. And again, like I said, there's two methods to do this. One is where you bring a bunch of parts, a bunch of similar cubes in, and you build the piece out by sticking them together. The other one is by taking the cube you have and extending it in different directions. I'm going to start with that method. Before I go much further, though, I do want to rename this one, and I'm going to rename this Part 1 Blue. For further reference, when I'm dealing with these files, it's going to be really convenient to do that. So to do the method that I'm discussing, up on your menu, you're going to see a bunch of tools, and you'll have little drop-down arrows to the right of them where you can drop down a menu. And the one you're looking for on a drop-down menu is this one, Assembly Linear Pattern. And it has you have 4 gray cubes and a white one here. And we're going to click on this. What it's asking us to do first is select the instance or the item that we want to do something with. I'm going to click on the cube. It highlights it. Direction. We can click on flat surfaces or a directional edge. So I'm going to say I want to have it go in this direction. It doesn't really matter. If I wanted to change direction, I can change it here. I'm going to say I want to go 3 cubes in a direction. I'm going to hit enter just to see it. I'll zoom out so you can see. And I want to change this gap to have no gaps between these. So I just change the distance between them to be, the distance from one starting edge to the starting edge of the next to be the width of the cubes. And you can see I have 3 that are joined together. I'm going to click this green check to finish that action. I'm going to rotate this around so you can see what I've made here. I will just go over here and just do isometric again. I can zoom in and out a little bit. I'm going to now make the upside down T. So I'll click this tool again. Which cube do I want to mess with? It's this one. Which direction do I want to go in? I'm going to click here. And if I wanted to, I could do this at any point in my operation. I could go the other direction by just switching these arrows. So either, you can build it one way and flip it. You can do it in the beginning. It doesn't matter. I'm going to make this 3 blocks. That's including the block I referenced to start. So this is 1, 2, 3. That's why there's a 3 here. And again, I have to change this to 0.75. Right now I have the upside down T, which is, I'm calling Part 1 Blue. Let's make another part. So we used an assembly to do this. We need another assembly, so we're going to go down here and click on this plus, insert new element. We're going to insert an assembly. And we're starting the same way. So we will do insert. I'm going to pick my next color. Again, starts off yellow. You can zoom out in the beginning. And there's a green cube. Now I'm going to build this part out. We'll make another simple shape. So what's the thing I want to reference? It's this. Which direction do I want to go? I kind of find it easy to go in this direction. Again, I could flip it. Either way, it doesn't matter. I'm going to come over 3. That's the most I could go in any one direction because of the cube size. And 0.75. Now let's make a slightly more complicated shape. I'm going to again select this tool. I'm going to select this piece here. Direction, I'll pick the top. And again, shorten that up. Now I'm going to have a piece coming off the back of this. To see that more easily, I'm going to rotate my cube. I'm going to select my tool again. And direction, I'll say I'll go this way. I wanted it to go the other way, so I'll just flip it. Again, depending on your part, either way is fine. 0.75. And I'm going to just rotate this back to the isometric view. So that's how you can build parts by using this tool, which is Assembly Linear Pattern. For my next ones, I'm going to show you, let me change this name, rename, part to different way. So again, we're starting a new assembly. And we will insert, we'll insert the red one. Again, I don't care what colors you use, but dark colors will make the edges hard to see. And then in this method, I'm going to zoom out some more, and I'm going to drop in a bunch of copies of that red cube. So I'm just going to say, okay, well, let's get some more of these. And I'll make a part that requires 5. I'm done dropping the parts. Now, this tool you want to do this stick together method is Fastened Mate. We have some other tools in here too, but they won't, there'll be more operations to use. So we're going to click this one. And I want to click on a surface. I'm going to zoom in here so you can see this. I'm clicking in the middle, and the symbol here shows up, and the outside edge is lit up. I'm going to click here. And now I want to rotate my view to see a side that's already facing this one that I've selected. Kind of like, think about 2 sandwich bread slices that are standing up on end. You want to put them together to make a sandwich. If you selected this face, it would push the cube I'm currently on inside this cube, which is not what you want to do. So I'm going to rotate here. I want to click on that. And then I say, yep, I'm done. And those two are put together. Now I'm going to do another action here. And again, I'll rotate. And this will jump one out of place, but it's fine. It'll go back. And I'll say, yep. So now we've got those guys stuck together. Now let's make the U shape. I'm going to select this surface. I'll rotate so I can see the bottom of this surface. Again, don't worry that they jumped out of place. And then since I'm down in this orientation anyway, I'll select this surface and I'll rotate back to select that. And I will solve. So now we have another shape. And again, I will rename this one part 3 red. So you're going to continue this process to make all of the parts, the 5 parts for your cube. And one thing I want to point out now, and as you continue to go through this, is I have quite a few tabs open, and it may get a little confusing, especially on a smaller screen. So conveniently, they thought about that when they designed the software. And you're going to click on this plus, and you're going to create a folder. This is if you want to, although I do recommend it. And I'm going to call this folder color cubes. And I'm going to make another folder. And I'll call this one 5 pieces. Because it will have all your 5 pieces. And then you can take them and drag them into the place they need to be, and it'll clean up your screen. Again, you do not have to do this, although I think from talking to some students, their computers were bogging down a little bit, probably because when all the tabs are shown here, they're kind of active and open. So anyway, this may be a way to kind of speed things up. It also does make it just a lot easier for you to see. So that's the process. Hope you guys are doing all right, and I will talk to you soon.